Well, hello there. Good evening. Welcome to Wood Chip Woodworking. Thanks for joining me. Today we're not going to do any turn-in, making anything, but what we are going to do is I made this block up to pour this form, made the form up, and I got this piece of wood. It's a piece of oak, and I'm going to make a handle out of it. So I'm going to pour some epoxy in it and make a handle. I got my form made. Pretty simple. I'm just going to stick this in here, and then we're going to do that. The other thing that we're going to do, follow me, is we are going to pour this, cast this here. This is a bowl I turned last year outside, and as you can see, it came apart on me. One part landed on my neighbor's roof, one part landed in the front yard of his house, and the other one landed in the front yard of our house. So instead of throwing it out, I decided that I was going to cast that, and I'm going to use a purple dye, and we're going to cast this in resin. So let's get started on this. But first, I want to thank everybody for stopping by. Thanks for all the emails that I've gotten, the comments. Thanks again for subscribing. Please share and like the videos that I do. Let's help this channel grow. So hopefully this will be a short one. This is going to be something interesting. So once I get it casted, it'll have to set for probably 48 hours or so. And then I'll take it out of the forms, and then I'll do a video on turning them. So till that comes, that one's down the road. But meanwhile, let's get started on this. So hang tight and we'll get our epoxy ready to pour. All right, I got my two-part epoxy here. I'm using this right here. It's Eco Epoxy. It's epoxy that I use for our table that I built. So we're going to use that on this here. So I need two parts of this and one part of the other. So let's pour this out. I got my bucket on my scale here. So I'm going to pour this in here and see how much we can go here. Let's see what we get. I'm going to do probably somewhere right in there. It's about, let's go make it 15 even. So we're going to keep pouring. 13, 14, 14, 64, 71, 91, and there it should be 1,500. All right, so that's part A. So part A, set that down, and let's see, two parts of that. So I could divide this. It's a 2-to-1 ratio. So two parts of that. So that would mean I would need. All right, so I need 850 grams of part B. So I'll reset my scale here. 850 grams. So, whoo, I went over. Well, let's make this an even, no, 850. I only got 138. 850. Hopefully it's going to fit. $700. It's just barely going to fit. There's 850 right there. All right, 850. So now we'll take that over here and we're going to mix it. So hang tight. All right, so I got my drill here. We're just going to mix this real quick. Trying to be gentle. let's leave that set for a second. And I'm going to get my color so I can pour that in. So hang on 1 second. All right, so I got 2 grams of color. We're just going to add that right to this. And we're going to mix that in. Try not to splash it. My original thought was to go with 5 grams, and I'm glad I only went with 2. That looks pretty good. Put this over here and find my little spatula wherever I laid it. There it is. I just want to scrape the sides of this down a little bit. All right. So we got that done. Now, as you can see, here is our bowl. We got it. And what I did was I put a couple pieces of plywood in the bottom of it to kind of absorb some of it, so I'm not using so much epoxy. And got a piece of plastic down. Made a form, got silicone around the base of it. I'll lay this inside here like so. Just kind of position it just like that. And let's pour it in there. If I can pour it in without spilling it, we're doing good. The other thing I need to do is I need to put this top piece on. This is going to help absorb some of the epoxy so that I'm not using a whole lot and wasting it. I got to center that. So that would be like that. And I got a gap underneath it. And now we can start pouring. So here we go. It's going to fill it. I'm going to have more, I can tell. Yeah, going to have more. And I think I might move this to the floor so that I don't have to move it when it's done. So hang tight. All right, so I got my epoxy poured again. Same amounts. I'm just going to stir this up. Got a little carried away. That's why I put newspaper down. All right, now I need to go get another tray. And we'll measure out another 2 grams of color. So hang on. All right, we got our 2 grams of color. Put that down in there. And let's mix this up. Alrighty, and that looks good. So now let's pour this in there. I'm gonna put a pair of gloves on this time. So should have probably put them on the first time around, but I didn't. So let's move the camera around so you can see me pour this in there and see how full we're getting, and we'll go from there. All right, here we go. Second pour. Let's see how much we get in there. So, yeah, it's starting to come up. I think we're going to need one more. Yep, we're going to need one more to do that. All right, so hang tight and we'll go do this again. So, all right, so here we go. Third pour. My bucket is just not big enough to do it all at once, so we're going to have to make do. I think we'll come real close to having it done. Yeah. I have to put some weights on it, hold it down. All right, so I'm going to pour this in my other box here. Got to rearrange my blocks of wood here. Get them down in there right. All right. I'm going to pour this in there. Yeah. A little bit much in there. Pour the rest of this in here. And I think let that drip in there. And I'm going to have to put something on here to hold that in place. Hold them down. All right. Let me get some blocks and stuff, and we'll come right back and we'll seal them up. So hang tight. All right, so I weighted that one down. And then this one here, I just got to push it back down. My other blocks floated. So I need to push this down. So I need to push that down and put a block underneath there. So I get me a couple scrap pieces of wood here. All right, so we're going to push this back down. And I'm going to push this back down in there. And my filler blocks I see are floating, which is not a good thought, because I don't want them inside the casting. Come on, get back down in there. I'm going to take you out of there. This was a filler block to fill it in, so I didn't use as much casting on it. And I should have glued them in place, and I didn't. So we're going to get rid of them. You live and learn, let me tell you. All right, and I'm going to use this as weight. Put that right on top. And that looks pretty good right there. My bowl's submerged, everything's good. I used more epoxy than I wanted, but hey, it's a learning process. And then this one here is down in there, that's good. So that, my friends, is that. Now it's just a matter of letting it dry and going from there. So that being said, Hope you enjoyed this one. It's been interesting, kind of fun. I don't know. I'm not sure what to say. I'm a little bit lost for words. It's going to be an interesting project when it gets done. I like the color, but we learned a lot. So hopefully you did too. So please feel free to share, like, and subscribe. And let me know what you think. And stay tuned. This will be a future video we'll do. And we'll do... we'll turn that and see what it turns into, but that's got to set for at least 48 hours. So it ought to be interesting. I don't know. Tell me what you think. I know it's a little short video, but I'm kind of impressed and learned a lot. You know, let's see what happens. All right. Thank you for joining me. Hope you learned a little bit here on this. It was interesting. This blue or the purple turned out pretty well. And let's go from there. Stay tuned. We'll turn these a later date. Like I said, this has got to set for about 48 hours to cure out. Probably the bowl will probably set at least a week. I actually shouldn't have put it in front of my lathe, but I got a bunch of other projects I can work on, so it's not a big deal. And I got a craft show coming up Friday night. Westerville's 4th Friday. So if you're interested in coming seeing me there, this won't be there, but I'll have some other stuff, a few new things, and we'll go from there. So feel free to share, like, subscribe, comment, leave them below, and hopefully you'll learn something from it. And stay tuned for the next one. All right. Have a good night.